But we talked about coffee competitions. And as baristas become irrelevant in our industry, which is something we hope doesn't happen, but the writing's pretty much on the wall, what do you see is going to happen in the industry?
That's difficult to predict. But that's the hard truth that eventually will happen. We see a lot of like robots now doing many stuff, or even like fully automated machines, self-calibrating, amazing work. So I don't know, either they're going to compete in robotics, they make the best robots to compete.
Is your coffee business ready for the next stage of growth? Grow Your Coffee Business is our most popular mastermind group, and a new group is starting in August. This 3-month online program is for coffee producers, roasters, and cafe owners ready to expand, evolve, and adapt. We'll meet every second week for 2 hours and work on understanding your numbers, managing risks, setting realistic goals, and using ChatGPT to grow smarter, not just bigger. Join a supportive group of like-minded business owners and build your plan for 2025 and 26. Apply now at mapleforward.coffee/group coaching or click the link in the show notes. Welcome to the Map It Forward Middle East podcast, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is unfortunately the last episode of what has been a fantastic 5-part series with Reza from Slick Coffee Co. in Oman. We have been talking about what is quality in the coffee industry, and we have gone through a huge, wide variety of subjects in each of these episodes. In this episode, we're going to be talking about technology, and specifically we're asking the question, what will be the role of Q graders and cuppers in the age of technology? And we'll probably talk about baristas and roasters as well through that process, given that Reza is a business owner of a roasting company and, does a lot of competitions, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to talk about all of it. So Reza, when it comes to cupping and Q grading, where is technology going to take this in your mind?
Well, technology is already changing the landscape as we know it. So we've got machines now analyzing chemical compounds and predicting flavor, approximating cupping scores. We have machines counting defects, drawing latte art. You have automated roasting machines, name it. There are many machines nowadays, and every now and then there's a new one popping up in new machines in coffee shows. But and also they can really process data at a scale no human panel ever could. That's
they don't get fatigued either, right?
Yeah, right. But that doesn't erase the role of cuppers, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, this is a product, as I said, by human for human. So human factor is still there. It just shifts the role of the cuppers from being the gatekeepers of truth to interpreters of context.
So, that's very poetic, sir.
Right. So a machine can tell us what's in the cup chemically and show you numbers, but they can't tell us why it matters, or they can't feel. So that's still our job to have that connection culturally, emotionally, and that's still very important part of our job, unless we all become androids or robots.
I look at the technology aspect of this a little different. You're looking at it from the perspective of the gadgets, right?
And
I look at it. Go ahead.
And AI technology and all of that.
The technology I'm looking at is a little different. The technology I'm looking at is something interesting has happened recently in the market, where Luckin has entered the US market. Do you know Luckin?
Yes, the
Right.
Chinese brand. Yeah.
Right. And so Luckin crushed in China, right? 22,000 stores, 1,000 stores, 1,000 new stores every year. An iced latte is about $1.25 USD. And they've just opened their first 2 stores in New York, and they are going to carpet bomb America with stores. TikTok is also owned by the Chinese. So when your technology it dominates the marketing sphere, you can influence consumer preference based on everything other than quality. It doesn't matter how you're grading coffee. They're going to add so much sugar and everything else to these drinks that because at the end of the day, the consumer really is just defining what people are going to buy as green coffee buyers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as roasters and as cafe owners, right? Your B2C business is going to define the rest of the supply chain. And I am constantly wondering what role technology from a social media perspective is going to have on the role of the cuppa and on the role of the person who is assessing the quality of coffee. Because I think ultimately the definition of the quality of coffee is going to be defined by what's popular on social media. Do you think that's crazy?
Not really. It's already happened in a way. But as the role of a cupper, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe in other parts of the industry, like in the
the importance of the coffee, of the cuppa, let's say, the importance of the role that the cuppa is going to play in assessing the quality of the coffee. Because at the end of the day, if you're adding sugar, you're adding flavoring, you're adding all of these things, and you're making those drinks the most popular so that you only have to buy the cheapest of coffees.
Right.
I mean, think about it this way. If I'm a brand like Luckin and I want to make sure that I can keep my coffee prices as low as possible, I'm not going to sell you black coffee. I'm not going to make black coffee popular. I'm going to make coffee with milk and sugar and flavoring. I'm going to make sure that that's what all the people who are going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in a roundabout way, they are influencing what the role of the cuppa and the Q grader is going to be, right?
This is the part that I don't quite get. How's that so? Because you can have that range of coffee, but there's still like other parts of the job that copper is supposed to take care of. Sample preparations, cupping, and other to serving others as well. So it's not only for that specific purpose, but yes, it's happening. It's going toward that direction with all those drinks, social media, Instagrammable kind of like drinks, matcha, all that. It's going already toward that direction. And the way I see it is eventually, no, it's happening again. If you look at it like back in the day when we were talking about different waves of coffee, first wave, second wave, third wave. The reason that they moved towards third wave was like this, all the coffees become like more convenient kind of like coffees. So we moved towards something more local, more artisan, more like authentic, original, like, you know. So that's also like changing because of the idea of like making it more accessible and convenient for everyone. And the way I see it in the future with the current status of the production is that it's going to be only 2 types of coffee. the low quality cheap coffee and the hyper specialty.
Right. That was where I was getting at, right? You're not going to need as many.
Is going to
right,
be,
it's gone. Right.
The middle is going to be evaporated. Just like the society. So it's going to be just
100%.
So,
and that's my point, is that we are going to see this have an impact on how many cuppers we're going to need and what the role that they're going to be playing and what they're going to be assessing. This will impact the way that they do their job. I don't know how many cafes would have survived 2025 if it wasn't for matcha.
yeah.
And that should be a question that everybody asks themselves moving forward. Signature drinks are what are going to save cafes that cannot afford to buy specialty grade coffee. And so if most producers, like Luckin did a deal with Brazil, and I think they bought so many hundreds of millions worth of dollars worth of coffee, or commercial grade. And they were going to secure that for over a 2-year period. So if they're buying all of this commercial grade coffee in advance, how involved are Q graders going to, or a big number of Q graders going to be in that process? If the coffee is going to be sold as an iced latte for $1.25, I'm not sure that quality is really going to be the main concern in that.
For that specific purpose, yeah, probably you don't need as much coppers or people in the exporting companies anymore. Even now, there are like machines that they can predict the score and the flavor profile of the coffee with a very tiny amount of green coffee. You don't even need to roast the coffee. That's there, but still for the rest of the industry who are still having that faith and hope in quality and in humanity, the connection is still there to have that interpretation of the quality and the connection. Yeah.
Will technology? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. For the purpose.
So if we look at how this is going, we've talked about the role that technology is playing for cuppers and for Q graders. And as we see business consolidation, I think we are going to start to see a significant amount of business consolidation in the second half of 2025, but particularly in 2026. I wonder what that's going to mean for the workforce. So we touched on it earlier in this series where we were talking about competitions, and as technology starts to take away the role of the barista, and it will take away the majority of the workload that baristas do. And it seems like it's pretty obvious that it's going to take away a lot of the QC elements in businesses over a certain amount of time, right? You won't need such a big QC team. You could operate the whole thing on one person. And that person's probably going to be the buyer, so that they're, doing quality and buying at the same time, and equipment's going to take care of everything else. But we talked about coffee competitions, and as baristas become irrelevant in our industry, which is something we hope doesn't happen, but the writing's pretty much on the wall. What do you see is going to happen in the industry?
That's difficult to predict. But that's the hard truth that eventually will happen. We see a lot of like robots now doing many stuff, or even like fully automated machines, self-calibrating, amazing work. So I don't know, either they're going to compete in robotics, they make the best robots to compete.
Is that what you want to judge? You want to judge robots?
If there's demand for it.
Of course.
So Yeah, maybe people need to start, studying for that, how to make robots and using the
Uh-huh.
AI. But I don't know. It's a very difficult
Yeah.
uh, future to even imagine.
When you as a business owner looks at this as a roaster, how do you assess what your roastery will look like in like 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
I still think we are going to do the same things.
Really?
Yeah, because I believe I've been doing this for a good amount of time for now.
Mhm.
Same way, same mentality.
But not
So
much has changed in that time, right?
no, I mean recently, yeah,
Yeah.
we can use AI to help us in many things, but still, especially when it comes to like business, at the end of the day, is that human connection and relationships, and this is not going to be replaced by AI or technology or any. Maybe trends will have a say in that. If by technology also you mean what's happening with the social
Yeah.
media and all,
Yeah.
definitely
100%.
they have a uh, they have something in it. But again, if we are here to value human, and it's going to be like even in design thinking, if it's human focused, it's going to be a very different kind of approach.
Is it human focused?
My business, yes,
Is the coffee industry human focused? In your opinion, do you think that the coffee industry is human focused?
it should be.
That wasn't the question, my friend.
Yes, but I don't know. I'm not sure. It still is. Still, you see
From
you
your
see people
perspective, is it?
caring for each other, but it's a little bit like deviating from that
It's
direction.
deviating from that.
Yeah.
You know, and from our preliminary conversation, like I walked away from that thinking about this specific thing, right? Like I look at someone like you and I'm very excited for the future of your position in the industry because you have invested in yourself and in the knowledge that you've gathered. You've built relationships and you're building a business. And if somebody took all of it away from you today, you'd know how to rebuild that tomorrow. You're set. You've still got a lot of hard years in front of you, but you figured out the beginning of it, right? And so this is very exciting. But from 2025 moving forward, the acceleration of the way our industry is going to change is going to be very different than the acceleration that happened, let's say, from 2015 to 2020 or from 2020 to 2025. And I don't think that people think it's going to be, I think it's going to happen a lot quicker than people think it's going to happen. I don't know if we'll be going to trade shows for the same reason in 2 or 3 years from now. Do you?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. And I guess, like, what would you say to people that are out there that haven't quite gotten to the position that you're in the industry, that are still trying to figure it out? What do you think that they could perhaps think about?
Well, we can start by questioning everything.
Yeah, I love that.
With the education system, because when you look at it from a broader perspective, you see that this is not only in coffee; it's in our life and society, in
Society.
so many things. So it's we are not also an exception as an industry. We happen to be the most I don't know, very like uh, cool, incredible, people who are there just for the love of the beverage.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it more tolerable. It's not a very like hard, harsh, tough kind of industry.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many good things still in there. But questioning everything makes people to kind of like find their own kind of like
Yeah.
compass to,
Mm.
okay, what do I really want? What do I really, because by the time like you understand there's a whole supply chain and you can be involved in many other parts to be useful, to be helpful, that's going to change so many things for people. For most of the people, like including myself, coming from the importing countries and consuming countries, the most gateways for people to get into the industry is being a barista. And automatically you think that you have to become a roaster to make more money, or
Mm.
it's cooler for you to become a green buyer or copper or all that. So it's kind of like as if it's mapped out in front of you
Mm-hmm.
the way that it was kind of like appeared naturally, but
Uh-huh.
that's not the whole truth. There are still baristas out there doing fantastic job. Right? They
Mm.
chose to stay in that path, or roasters or cuppers or in other part of the supply chain. So that's what I did. And then because I didn't take any like education classes on coffee from SCA. It was like self-taught to me.
Mm.
It was just like I started to read and research and experiment. And that's, I think, how I gained all this,
Mm.
experience and knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. Reza, this has been one of my favorite conversations this year on the podcast so far. So thank you. I hope you'll come back again. I think that you have a really fascinating career ahead of you. You've done lots of stuff in the industry already, but I'm keen to see what somebody who thinks the way that you think, like the way that you create thoughts and the way that you dissect things is really quite fascinating. So
I appreciate it.
you're welcome. And I'm going to be really interested to see how you solve some of the problems that are coming our way as an industry. Will you, before I ask you the last question that we usually ask everyone on the podcast, can you tell everyone where they can find out about Slick and where they can find out where they can connect with you?
Well, I have my personal Instagram and email, of course, and we are working on the website at the moment. It's under
Huh?
construction for Slick, but our main channel is Instagram.
What's the
So we are
Instagram
active
handle?
there. It's Slick Coffee Co.
Okay. And your Instagram?
Reza Kosar on the line.
Okay, great. We will have links in the show notes. But before you go, Reza, the last question that we ask everyone, and folks, Reza did not want to know this question before the end of it. So he's hearing this question for the first time. When the future version of you comes back and watches this series, what do you hope for him?
Well, that's a difficult question.
Now you wish I had have told you beforehand, right?
Right.
But if
I
he's here and he's watching you and you're telling him something that you hope for his life, what do you hope for him?
to keep it up, not to give up, and stay
Nice.
on the same track. Life's not easy. It was not supposed to be. So you've come this far. You got it.
I love it. Inshallah, the future version of me and the future version of you are hanging out, having a coffee somewhere, having more conversations like this.
Looking forward to that.
Likewise. Only one more thing to do. Will you sign us off for this series?
Sure. Peace, love, and peanut butter jelly.
Have an amazing rest of your day, everyone. Thanks,
You
Reza.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This episode is part of a 5-part series produced by Mapper Forward. Check the full playlist and guest details in the show notes, as well as how you can support our work in the coffee industry. Become a premium YouTube subscriber, explore our Patreon and any brands we've partnered with to bring you this podcast. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really does help us grow our audience.